So as of today, when I'm recording this, and as of yesterday, when you're watching this, the official Hytale trailer is approximately 1 month old. Now that's actually crazy because I personally feel like it's been around for much longer, but apparently it's around 1 month. Now, they made a recent blog post to kind of commemorate the 1 month anniversary. They gave us some music and some updates in the FAQ. So in this video, I'm going to be going over this blog post and talking about, what information we have, and we potentially have more information regarding a release date, when exactly that's going to be happening, although it's not very specific. But yeah, let's get right into it. Now, this blog post is titled Music Track Preview, looking back at the announcement and an FAQ update. Now, as always, this will be linked in the description, so you guys can go check it out as always. So the first thing we got in this blog post is we actually have the first two tracks from the Hytale soundtrack. Now, this is very interesting. I'm about to play some of these songs right here. Of course, I'll link them down below in the description, but they actually sound pretty epic. These were composed by Oscar Garvin. Here is a sample of each of the soundtracks. So they then go on to say that these two tracks are just a small sample of the whole Hytale soundtrack, and also that the goal that they had for the trailer was to reach 250,000 views during the first week, with 1 million being their crazy awesome best case scenario. But a month later, they have over 32 million views on the Unveil trailer, which is actually crazy. Right? Because that's actually insane. Like, they've basically blown the crap out of their goal. So, obviously, the response from the community has been incredibly good. And they say that they have over 900 applications in the first month to be on the Hytale development team or whatnot. And they say this is a incredibly fortunate position to be in, and many of us have worked on projects that have never reached this level of attention in their entire lifespan. Seeing the community's enthusiasm manifest itself in various ways, like fan art, analysis videos, and community groups, is beyond cool. As a group of developers who are community-focused, being able to draw energy from your support fuels our development and informs our decision-making. And then they go on to say, no matter how much attention the trailer receives, nothing is more important than the game itself, which is all good. This is all good. Now we're going to get to the FAQ, which is the next section. Now, in the first part of the FAQ, in a section titled Beta When, the blog post talks about when Hytale's beta is going to be coming out, and they say this is definitely the number one question. Simply put, we do not have an accurate timeline to give you yet, but we can, however, confidently say that the beta will not launch within a few months. So we're looking a little bit farther out than we probably previously were looking. I thought perhaps it was going to release during the summer, but I think that's probably less likely now. And it says, as we proceed development, we will no doubt gain a clearer picture of the timeline. And some members of the community have speculated the beta would be launching soon after the announcement, even in January, and that's actually not true. So we're looking a little bit farther out for when the beta is going to be released, so we do technically have more information about the release date, which is good. And the key reason we sought out this investment, talking about the investment from Riot Games, the League of Legends developers and stuff of that sort, we want to avoid feeling pressured to deliver the game too early. Happily, funding from our backers means we can develop Hytale in the way we want. So they basically are not trying to rush the game, they're trying to take their time, they're trying to make the best product possible, which is all a very good thing. And they said, in hindsight, we definitely could have communicated more clearly about the development timeline. You can rest assured, as we get closer to beta, we'll let you know. We're working hard to get there. So a little later on in the blog post, they go to talk about the programming and scripting languages that Hytale use, and they basically say that they are not going to reveal that yet, but in a future technical blog post, they're going to talk about it. Then they talk about why there is no official Discord subreddit/forums yet, And here they basically say that there's two reasons. First, they want to focus more on the game than, the development of the Discord or the subreddit or the forums. And they want to make sure that they're, making the game as good as possible before they do those things, that's fair. And secondly, they're saying that they don't want their biggest fans to burn themselves out. It's an effect that they've observed in other games where if they create a forum for people to talk about Hytale, they're going to end up tiring themselves out while waiting. This is something to be mindful of. And of course, they're still listening to feedback, and that they're reading everything sent to their social media accounts, fan subreddits, and unofficial Discord channels. Even if we haven't officially replied on some of these topics yet, that feedback is valuable to us. And then they also say, and some other questions that were answered in the blog post are, number one, will there be new team roles posted to the jobs page soon? And they say yes, that they're finalizing an integration of a fancy new software, which will help them go through all of the applications that were submitted. And the next one is if there's a mode for free building or creative building, and they also say yes to that, and that there was glimpses of that in the trailer. You saw a little part where they had like kind of a world edit type of system running, and apparently there's also a full suite of optional builder tools that are accessible in the mode. Then they also talk about the beta sign-up confirmation, where in summary, they basically say that there's so many beta signups that they're going to be setting up a new system for it, but that if you've already completed the sign-up process, no further action is required. Next, they talk about whether or not Linux will be supported, and they say probably not. But then they also go on to say that they confirm that Hytale's server will run on most Linux distros. They also say which languages will Hytale support. Hytale will include multiple languages at some point during beta, and we don't have information to share on which languages and when. We've previously crowdsourced community transactions in the past to good effect, which is all good. Then they go to talk about whether or not they're going to support the game after the beta is, released, and obviously they say that they are going to be. And also, then they clarify a little bit about the world gen, something that I went over in my previous video on the blog post of Hytale, and they talk about how, the zones concept art presented the world in a form of slices, and apparently that the zones are not laid out like concentric circles. You can think of the world gen in the shape of a traditional world map. The map continues to generate in the infinite lands with all of its normal features except a few storyline content prefabs. And then finally, they round up the blog post by talking about whether or not the video player will support YouTube and Twitch. And they say that the video player is designed primarily for YouTube and Twitch, which is good. So that's the in-game video player that we saw in the trailer, which is totally, totally cool, and I'm really excited for that. But anyway, hope everyone enjoyed. As always, if more blog posts come out, I'll make more videos about them. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment down below. What do you guys think about the Hytale soundtrack? What do you think about the release date? What do you guys think about this blog post in general? And also be sure to join my Discord. Link to that will be in the description. And I'll see you guys later. Peace out.